Power sector stocks have fallen 50 to 60% over the last few years. But why? Even when the electricity demand is rising, the government is pushing this sector, and AI and data centers will require massive power. Even then, why are investors still stuck in these stocks? See, on paper, this should have been a golden phase for the power sector. So, where is the problem? Is the market missing something, or is there a deeper truth to India's power story that most investors still don't understand? So, today, let's break down the truth of India's power story with logic and numbers and see whether power stocks can actually make a comeback or if the pain is not over yet. And if you're new to my channel, this is Sanika, MD and research analyst at Rangavan Finance. And my firm's goal is simple: your growth, our priority. So hit the subscribe button because today you are going to understand a lot of things. So keep on watching. See, power sector is not a single business. It is an entire value chain. And even if one link gets delayed, then the pressure quietly travels everywhere, from generation companies to equipment manufacturers to transmission players to EPC companies and to the final distributors as well. And one thing is for sure, in this video I am not going to repeat the usual power is a long-term theme story. I will show you the real bottleneck and why these stocks corrected sharply and whether this fall is an opportunity or a trap. The first compartment is generation, and this is where the electricity is produced. Coal, gas, wind, hydro, solar. All of these are converted into power. Companies like NTPC operate coal and hydro plants. Adani Power and Tata Power are strong on the thermal side. And if we are talking about renewable energy generation, then Adani Green, JSW Energy, Suzlon, Tata Power Renewables and NHPC are all connected to India's clean energy transition. And generation companies themselves are saying that the long-term demand outlook remains strong, even though this fiscal growth was moderate due to milder summers and extended monsoons. But here's the twist. Even in renewables, where everyone sees massive opportunity, the system is not moving as smoothly as the headlines suggest. Around 40 to 45 gigawatt of capacity is already bid out. But the PPAs and the PSAs are still pending. And this is where the real stress begins. So until the power purchase agreement or the power sale agreement are signed, the project remains stuck on paper. The banks do not release the funding, the execution does not start, and the earnings remain at zero. So ask yourself this: if the capacity is one, the headlines are positive, the long-term story is alive, then why are companies still under pressure? Because in power, announcements do not create cash flow. Execution does, and that execution is stuck. There is another important shift happening. Renewables are no longer just a clean energy story. They are also becoming a reliability story. You already know that wind and solar are not predictable. Sometimes the generation is high, sometimes it dips. And this makes it difficult to keep the grid stable. And this is where BESS comes in, battery energy storage systems. So the idea is simple: store extra renewable power when the supply is high and release it when the demand is needed. In other words, make the renewable power behave more reliably close to thermal power. Sounds perfect, right? Yes, but it also becomes more expensive. Capital costs go up and the returns, which earlier looked attractive, come down a bit. So the renewable story is still important, but it is becoming complex. It is a story where project quality, contract visibility and return economics matter much more, and that is why market has started adjusting its expectations. Now let us move to the second major part of the value chain: transmission. If generation is where the electricity is produced, then transmission is the highway that carries it from one place to another. And in India, Power Grid Corporation is the backbone of that system. Now, here is the contradiction that explains a big part of the correction in power stocks. Now, generation capacity, especially in wind and solar, has increased rapidly, but the transmission infrastructure has not expanded at the same pace. So, what happens when electricity is produced faster than the system can carry it smoothly? You get bottlenecks. And once a bottleneck is created in the middle of a chain, then the pain spreads everywhere. And according to management commentary across the sector, the issue is not that the projects are being cancelled in large numbers. The issue is of alignment, right of way issues, land compensation negotiation, approvals, and monsoon led execution delays. And right now, much of this looks more of a timing and execution issue rather than a collapse in structural demand. So, no need to worry. And finally, we come to the most sensitive part of the value chain, the distribution. Now, this is where electricity finally reaches our homes, factories, and businesses. And this is also the place where money is supposed to come back into the system. But this stage has always been one of the weakest links. State-run entities and in some places private players like Torrent Power and Adani Power are involved in buying electricity, supplying it and collecting the bills. So the problem starts with political pricing, free power, delayed payments and operational inefficiency. And this leakage has a name: AT&C losses, aggregate technical and commercial losses. Now this has been a huge issue in India for a long time. But there is a positive shift here. The government is trying to fix this issue by better infrastructure and monitoring. And that is why smart meters, cables, and automation systems become important. And this brings companies like KEI, Polycab, and Siemens into focus. Now, this is the part every investor wants to know. Can these stocks rally again? See, my view is that yes, these stocks can show a comeback rally. But not every stock deserves to participate equally, and that is the key distinction. So I do not want to blindly bet on every company just because the theme is powerful. For me, there are two more important pockets. The first is solar manufacturing, and I say solar more than wind for a simple reason. See, wind turbines need massive land and are naturally more commercial in use, but solar panels have the potential of becoming much more common, almost like a normal household decision over time. The way today we are buying ACs and fridge while building a new home, in the same way in future buying solar panels can also become common. And that is why solar focused companies like Waaree and Premier Energies become interesting to track. Now the second area that I prefer is of proxy plays. Businesses that benefit from the power theme without fully taking the pain of low margin and high risk execution. Now that includes cable manufacturers like KEI and Polycab and transmission related players like Advait Energy. So I would prefer the proxy players because I would rather participate in this ecosystem through better positioned businesses rather than putting all of my capital in parts of the chain where there is higher risk of execution and margins are also low. So if you ask me for the simplest takeaway, it is this: power as a theme is strong, but power stocks are not a single basket. Buying them at the right time and at the right level is very important. So this was Sanika from Rangavan Finance, and I will see you very soon in the next powerful video. Till then, bye bye.